you're joining us again. If you are catching us for the first time, make sure you follow us on social media at 3 Count Thursday on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out our website, 3countthursday.com, and subscribe on all podcast platforms, YouTube as well. Got a few things.
Shut it, man!
The best in the world.
I know, Ryan, you went without on Thursday.
Tim was a bully.
I heard. He wouldn't give you the sound bites. I heard. I trusted him.
God, this feels so good.
That was impressive.
Man, I wish that wasn't playing when you said that. It would have been another soundbite.
Let's see it again.
I swear this is going to end before the hour's up. I promise you.
I can't believe he could hold his voice that long.
It's impressive.
Shane McMahon!
Feel better, Ryan?
So much better.
Good. So I missed you boys on Thursday, but you held down the fort very well. I enjoyed the show. Ryan, you don't smoke anymore. Don't go back to that world. Do you have a candy? Do you have a candy cigarette close
It'll always
to you?
be smoky to Mark.
He always will.
It'll always be.
I do have candy cigarettes on hand, actually. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go, Smokey.
I mean, that's probably the next unhealthy habit you need to
Yeah,
get.
it probably is.
You don't want to mount up dentist bills, Ryan.
You do not. You do. You know, it's a plague, or a plaque that's impacting the world. But so there was a topic.
Speaking of impact, real quick, before we even get started,
Sure, absolutely.
How the hell did an Impact wrestler get on your list of the top 5 wrestlers of the week last week? There is zero chance in hell, zero, that you watched any Impact Wrestling. Do you even remember who it was?
It was Eric Young.
What the hell did he do?
He won the gauntlet. He's fighting for the title at the Slammiversary coming up.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, he won the gauntlet match on Impact Wrestling. Well, not this past week, but the week prior, to start week number 5 in our countdown.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
Slammiversary.
It's called research, Ryan. I don't have to watch the show to know what's going on in the world of wrestling. I mean,
typically it's just at 9 p.m. Wednesday when Jim sends his picks. I'm like, shit.
Like, damn it! Why do you bring Impact into this? Oh crap! Now I gotta go look them up. Something must have happened.
I mean, this week was easier because we just went on with people who took stances against.
Yeah. Last week's was a little bit easier. You know, and that Adam Cole Bebe guy, he did something pretty cool. But yeah, last week was more non-wrestling related in the picks. But there was like a last minute change to your Thursday show last week. So there was a topic you didn't get to. Did you guys want to hit that tonight? Do you guys want to leave that for another live show, another recorded show, and stick to the things we were going to do here?
Doesn't matter. I mean, I feel like it could be an evergreen topic. It was just one that was in the news that past week as well.
Yeah, let's touch on it. I think because it is, it is an evergreen topic, but in the same time, it is a little bit more appropriate because of some events from. Well, there was an indie show. I'm not even sure where a fan, I guess, headbutted one of the wrestlers. There was an altercation. It got a little bit ugly there. And I think there's even been a few other instances just in general. I think we've had an instance or two lately of fans rushing the ring. So it kind of brought up, and I think Matt, you brought the topic to the table of like, is it harder for wrestlers today to engage fans, just in the climate of society, and I think maybe part of it too has to do with the fact that there's social media and cameras, so some people feel emboldened by the fact that, like, hey, if I do something here, I'm probably the video of the altercation is probably going to go viral somewhere.
Mhm.
So like they think they're going to get like internet famous, whether it's for good reasons or bad reasons. But like, does that make it harder on people in the business?
Right. Yeah, that was the kind of my mindset going in. And I mean, it depends on the indie promotion for sure, but there's certainly some federations that have fans that still just buy into it. There are still it's still real to me crowd. So, when you're interacting with those fans, especially now, given how emboldened some people have become in terms of what
It's
they
still
feel
real
like
to me,
they're,
damn it.
thank you, what they feel like they're allowed to say these days to wrestlers, and where some wrestling fans might feel comfortable hurling insults back, hurling slurs back. Does that make it kind of a tougher line to toe for the wrestler in terms of, especially as a heel wrestler on the indie scene, a lot of your heat is going to come from the crowd and interactions with them more so than interacting with your fellow wrestlers. So is it tougher now, given the climate of this country, to try to engage with the fans and get them riled up and feel like you can be safe and free of having them rush the fans, unless someone who throws out streamers is encouraging you to come up and pound the mat.
Guys, come up here.
That's different.
Guy, do you want me to stand on Eddie Smooth? Like, is that what you dumbass? Is that what you want me to do? You want me to stand on Eddie Smooth? I don't think Eddie would appreciate it, but I'm sure if I tell him, hey, streamer guy told me to do this, I'm sure he'll understand.
He would understand. Yeah, especially because there's likely some indie companies that don't even have barricades at this point. So how safe can you feel as a wrestler trying to get the crowd engaged by hurling insults and, be okay enough to know that there will be no type of blowback from the fan in a physical or a verbal manner if they're going to hurl any type of slur as well.
Yeah,
I think you use two very different words to it. I mean, just to clarify, like, insults do not equal slurs. Like, those are
Right.
very different.
Yes.
It's okay
I'm
to
saying
throw
that if
insults at somebody.
I'm talking about
It's
the
not okay
wrestlers.
to throw slurs.
Right. The wrestlers are likely going to throw insults. And if they get them back, I don't think that bothers them. But
Correct.
In terms of any type of verbal, that was when I was saying it would be more so a slur coming back to them versus any type of return insult. I think that would be welcomed by a heel wrestler for sure.
If I'm a wrestler, I'm not working at places that don't have barricades. One, it seems real simple to me. I want that physical barrier between fan and performer. Stay on that side of the fucking fence. I'll stay on this side. We can spat at each other all you want. We can throw insults. That's exactly what I want to do. But you stay there. I'm over here. There, I feel like needs to be a physical barrier between the two. To Jim's point in the example, there was a barrier, and the guy headbutted over the barrier.
Yeah,
That's I don't know what you can do other than you don't touch somebody. The guy's out of the arena. He doesn't come back ever. He's blacklisted.
I want to say in that
know what was
instance
said,
there were
but-
slurs thrown out as well. From what
Was
I
that a
heard.
slur thing? I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what
That's
started
why
the
wrestler
altercation.
went
Yeah,
to was close enough. I think was because the slur was thrown first. He reacted to the slur and got within the vicinity, even with the barricade, and then it got physical.
I mean,
Is my
And
understanding.
next, if you're an indie company, I don't know, maybe you pay for security, work that into a budget. Don't give like the skinny brother of the worker a security shirt and assume you're going to have quality. Hey, I'm not trying to pick on the guy. He listens to the show. Like, Devin is not a good security guard.
Well, I don't know.
I'm sorry, he's not. Somebody gym size? I'm not fucking around with somebody's gym size. He's a hoss.
I mean, I'm pretty fat.
You're a
I'm
big
pretty fat,
boy.
and I'm not that strong. So, like, if I'm security,
But you are big enough that if you need to step in between somebody, you will at least slow somebody down.
yes.
Devin could trip him,
Oh, yeah.
but he's not going to slow him down.
Jeez.
He could trip like a group of people with like, his hands left.
Actually, he could use that as the barricade. I believe. Like,
He could.
you don't need to rent barricades. You just
Get
have
him
Devin.
excited enough.
Yeah,
The cops throw out to like pop a tire. That's what it just tosses it out and they all fall.
He's he's his own spike strip, is what you're telling me.
Spike strip, sure, yeah.
My
He
God.
does
I don't know.
have,
Maybe
First-
security should do their fucking job.
I mean, the sad thing is at that point in the clip that I saw, security they were actually kind of trying, like, but the dude that did the headbutting was not a little guy either.
He was also a big.
No,
He was a
big.
big
He's
man,
big.
so they were having difficulty removing him, which is a problem in and of itself. I mean, we've done commentary on some shows that have no or barely any barricade. Like the one time it was like the little plastic chain fence. I'm like,
And we saw how well that worked.
yeah, and there was somebody
Russ
that
got
and,
attacked outside that show.
I remember that.
like
They went over the plastic.
well, that's
tape.
what caused him to retire, right?
Well,
the
Lilo-
first time.
Lilo Rush went over it.
My mom.
But yeah, like a fan made it into the ring that night. So yeah, barricades definitely important.
But Jim, did you learn your lesson that night?
I did. It,
Yeah, he hasn't rushed the stage since.
no, I only learned
No,
my
he was
lesson because I
flipping
actually blew out both my quads like Vince McMahon when I rushed the ring.
Oh.
So they
Oh my quad.
they weren't arresting me. They actually took me to the hospital. It was
I just felt bad.
they're just like, this poor fucking.
This
Jim,
poor bastard is on the
While
ground.
you
in
were
pain.
commentating, has anybody ever come up and asked for your autograph while you were commentating?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, I don't believe.
Okay, I wasn't sure if
That's cute.
if
So-
that was the instance where you signed that guy's leg. Or
Oh
if
no,
it's
that
just-
was a
that was
different
something else.
situation. Yeah.
Got it. My bad.
So I do have a story kind of related to that. So at the company I used to work for, the owner was not a public figure. And so a lot of stuff ran through me on commentary. I did have people come to the commentary table and be like, "Hey, can you book the Sandman?"
Aw.
Like, I'll
I bet you
ask the
could.
cat.
Get him some
That company would have never touched the Sandman, right?
No chance.
No chance in hell they ever brought this. Okay.
They wouldn't have brought in like anybody from ECW, right? Like that was definitely a more like family friendly environment there.
They might have done like Tommy Dreamer, maybe.
Okay. But yeah, I also think, to like Matt's point about it, you know, like harder to be a heel or engagement. Like I think the whatever the content of that is being presented by the heel in question, or the portion of the part of the country where you're presenting the show, I think probably, and depending what characters being presented where, probably gets you know, could go one way or the other. I'm not trying to, you know, just single out one group of people, but like if you're in a more blue part of the world, if you bring out like a guy with a Confederate flag, that might get a little you know, get a little rough in today's world. If you're in a more red part of the world, if you bring out like a woke character, that might you know, invoke more reaction than just your standard heel.
Or any type of minority character.
Right. Yeah. Literally anybody that's not white or male may present a problem in some portions of the world.
Who's this guy?
Don't worry, man. he's wrestling Southern Justice with Doug Mastriano.
He looks like a Brandon to me.
Oh my!
We should train. Let's go, Brandon.
That'll show him.
That'll show him.
Doug Mastriano. Oh my!
God. But like, I also think about like some of the stories from guys like Piper and that where they're getting like shanked, like stabbed on the way to the ring. Like
in Puerto Rico.
I just
Or getting killed in the locker room, but that was another wrestler.
yeah,
in
that
Puerto
was
Rico.
Puerto Rico.
but like I don't, and dear God, I hope we never get to that point. But like I don't think we've seen anything. I think like the fan headbutting a wrestler is the worst thing that we've seen, at least since we've been doing this show. So I'm hoping that this is a more of a isolated incident. Like fans drawing at wrestlers, as long as you keep it above board, there's nothing wrong there. There's people playing along with the show. But I definitely do think that in some ways it's harder today.
I also feel like, I don't know, maybe if I was that guy, I'd go back behind the curtain and be like, got that fucker. Like, I did my job. Like, can you ask for a better... And I'm not saying to do this. Please don't fucking hear that. But is there a better compliment than working somebody that far up?
As a heel,
he would
probably not.
I mean,
yeah.
really, as a heel, that's...
Like if he had to be restrained or tossed, then I think that's kind of...
Shit.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not promoting it. Please don't hear that.
Right. Yeah, no.
Like, and how many people, I think is the question, like how many wrestlers want to get to that level at this point? Was probably more of the question. Like, do they feel comfortable even getting close to that?
I don't know who the wrestler was, but there are some people that probably learned that wrestler's name because of this incident.
Probably.
I mean, there's only... MJF on the indies said some real vulgar shit that really stirred some people. Things in GCW, Matt Cardona is a great example. I mean, people littered the ring with a ton of shit. Is that acceptable in GCW? Not at other places? Is that a problem?
They threw pizza cutters in the ring at him, didn't they?
A fucking pizza cutter.
Yeah, pizza cutters, like full cans of beer, like unopened cans of beer.
Crazy.
Among other things. But I mean, I don't know for sure, but I feel like, I mean, that's borderline acceptable with a GCW crowd that you're not going to get.
I'd say CZW crowds used to get to that level of extreme in terms of both objects thrown and words and slurs that were thrown to the wrestlers, for sure.
To the ring crew cleaning the fucking ring out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think everybody saw that ECW clip when all the chairs went in the ring.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was crazy.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that promo that Bubba Ray cut on I think it was some woman at ringside back in ECW? That was pretty bad.
That was wild.
That was rough.
I don't know what the answer. I mean, more. I don't know. Barricades, I think.
The
security
anymore.
Yeah.
You just need to have them. It's a shitty expense. I get it, but it's an expense you have to work in to your price.
Yeah, barricades and
figure it out.
security for sure.
Yeah, and I mean that's being a good promoter. To have...
I've been to shows where they just hand out a security shirt and say, "Here you go," like to whoever, a few people, a few friends, and there's no training. There's no what happens if.
Oh yeah.
What happens if a fan crosses the barrack? What do I do?
And I mean, some of those shows where we've seen those shirts passed out, we've seen fans get close to wrestlers. I feel like that crowd, for the most part, probably knew like this is a show and we're playing a part. But like, I think there was maybe some sometimes questions of if it was going to go too far.
There was down there at LCW, a few people got thrown out when I think it was Rob Noxious and the Red Scorpion when he raked his back. That was pretty wild. It was.
He raked my back. Yeah, no, he didn't literally rake it.
Oh, he did literally rake it, but it's close.
And kudos to LCW for that. I think that was a fantastic. If you're talking about like that big incident that happened at intermission, I mean, it was all worked. There were security guards in place. I mean, we were smartened up to what was going to happen.
There was a strategically placed camera that
right, like people knew what was happening and knew that it was a work. The fans, I don't think, knew at all. It involved a wrestler's mother. This was all talked about prior. Like it was fantastic. It really was well done. Kudos to them because that really blurred the lines. But I think kudos to whoever was booking that had security in place and had referees in the vicinity in case anything actually did get out of control.
You can view the video.
You don't want to see anybody get hurt.
You can view the video of this event that we speak of on the 3CT YouTube channel. Actually,
that was a good time.
One of our most viewed videos, actually.
What did Cousin Brian think of that moment? He was probably scared.
Oh, he was a little. He had to go in the men's room and run the hand dryer for quite a bit. So I don't know what happened.
I mean, he would have actually been okay in that room at that point, just soaked in his own piss, because the room smelled. The room smelled like a piss-soaked carpet. So I think he would have been all right. But
because the plumbing didn't work.
Yeah.
He just pissed on the floor there.
It just didn't matter. Any other thoughts to this before we move on? Okay, so last week the news of Ric Flair coming out of retirement. Is he actually retired? I don't know, but giving it one last go. I think, what is this? It's in June, July. I can't remember the date of
July. I think it's the weekend of SummerSlam. I believe it is.
Okay, so you know what? I think you're right. But they are resurrecting Jim Crockett Promotions for one weekend. Starcast 5 is going to be there. They're doing a roast of Ric Flair. They are doing a show with the final match of the career of Ric Flair. We've seen videos over the last few weeks of Rick doing some training with Jay Lethal. First off, do you guys have any desire to watch this show? Like, is there curiosity of I want to see Rick's last match, Tim?
There is a sounder on the board that would give me a number rating, number rating of how much I want to see Ric Flair's last match in 2022.
0.0.
That's the one.
When you first said there's a sounder, I thought you meant this one.
No! Hell no!
Which I feel like is about the same.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. This I have zero curiosity to see what this match is going to look like.
I want to know who his opponent's going to be, because I was thinking Steamboat, but Steamboat came out and said he declined.
And good on him.
Good on him, dude. I almost
the rumors. Yeah, the rumors are it's a 6-person tag.
Oh.
So Ricky Morton will be in there.
It is Ric Flair and the FTRs versus the Rock and Roll Express and a 6th person.
Good Christ.
That's weird, because I initially thought that Bret Hart and his wheelchair would be two separate wrestlers, but guess it's just
it's me, one. Bret, and old Ironside.
That's effed up.
That's a shame.
That is not okay.
That's bad.
Way out of line. Way out of line.
Poor Bret. After all,
what did you say? Ironsides? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because the wheels. The wheels.
Got it.
Old Ironsides. Yep.
Oh my!
Come on.
So it's a 6-man. That makes more sense. I thought it was going to be a 1-on-1 match.
So what? He's gonna come in. He'll take a backdrop. He'll take a body slam. He'll do some chops.
I hope to God he doesn't take a backdrop.
I mean,
Taking them with Jay Lethal.
back bump.
might-
Sorry, back bump's not a
That
backdrop.
might be curtains for old Rick if he's taking it back.
Is he going to take that
they won't
body
do it.
slam off the top?
Just-
They can backdrop him into a grave, unfortunately.
Up goes Rick.
He's going to be taking old Ironsides back to the back, and he's taking.
And Rick is up, and
I wonder if it is Jay Lethal.
I mean, it would kind of make sense, given the impersonation and everything, and the fact that he's literally training with him.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But yeah,
Does this put Charlotte in a weird spot? Because I'm assuming she'll be backstage. Never mind.
I was gonna say I don't
She's going to be on the crowd. I don't think for this.
Nah.
no, and I. Yeah, I know the relationship between.
I could see her making up an excuse to just not go.
I don't want to be there to watch my dad
My
die.
horse is
I
sick.
don't want to be there for that.
You say my horse is sick?
Yeah, that was Terry Funk's old line. Anytime he no-showed or had to leave or left or whatever,
Horse was
he
sick.
had to go because his horse was sick.
My
Never heard
horse
that.
is sick.
You never heard that? Tim, you heard that,
Never
didn't
heard
you?
that.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I
I've
never
never
heard.
heard that.
Terry Funk would say, he was supposed to wrestle, he was supposed to be one of Lawler's knights when Lawler was supposed to wrestle Bret Hart and the Hart family, and he couldn't because one of his horses was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Awful match.
Yeah, that was
not a
terrible.
good match.
Well, and the king didn't get to.
No, the king was busy.
Predisposed. We'll put it that way. But yeah, Ryan, Matt, Mark, any
Who's asking for this?
That's the
Rick.
better question.
Rick?
Flair.
It's Rick.
Flair.
It's
Flair.
Nature's feeding the
Flair.
ego.
I am interested in watching the roast and how ballsy anybody's actually going to get with roasting Ric Flair.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
I will.
actually-
I love a good roast.
I love
I'll
a
watch the
roast.
I'm actually surprised Tim has zero
I love a
interest
brisket.
in this
I love a
match,
roast.
since he did say he wanted to watch someone die in the ring.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
You may get your wish.
Tomato.
I hope Rick has Goliath life insurance.
That man don't have life insurance.
No.
Insurance, period.
If
Yeah,
he had life insurance, he spent it all.
yeah. Good lord. So
Does this ruin his a 6-man? Like why? Why even do it if
That's
it's a
just-
6-man? Like that kind of cheapens the whole gimmick of the show. Ric
Yeah,
Flair's
I
last
was
match
thinking
is a
single.
6-man. How about no?
That makes more sense, but
It does. He doesn't have to carry the
Yeah.
weight.
yeah.
yeah, I mean it will make it
I mean, his knees can barely do that now.
it will make it better question mark than
No.
the alternative.
Better than just him in a one-on-one match.
But
Sure.
but my God, yeah, I almost made Steamboat one of my wrestlers of the week last week for saying no to this fucking clown show.
would have been
he-
justified.
Steve-O really, his statement, I mean, he really was spot on, saying he doesn't know if he could perform and he didn't want to scar his legacy or people remember him.
But here's the
Yeah,
thing. I mean,
he really
we saw Steamboat. I mean, what? It's probably 4 or 5 years ago
It's been
now.
a couple of
He
years.
looked great.
But like, I mean, I don't assume in the last 5 years that Ricky Steamboat looks like me. You know what I mean? Like, I highly doubt the guy has let himself go.
when the pandemic happened.
You know, I would trust that Ricky Steamboat would be better in the ring today than Ric Flair would.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely kudos to him for just being like, no, I'm going to leave my body of work as it was and as it is.
How about
Very
I'm going to leave my
cognizant.
body the way it is?
Well, that's
Yeah.
that too. I mean, Ric
Period.
Flair, I don't think gives a shit about destroying his body.
Not anymore.
Not over the
Yeah, I don't
years,
know
and
that he ever-
certainly not post Wendy. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope
he's-
he goes out to the ring and just helicopter dicks right in the middle of the ring and walks out. That's all he does.
woo, woo, woo.
You know what would
Walks
make the
away.
match even more exciting, and he could have an ex-wife in every corner. Now, that would be
Good Lord, his
He's got at least
ex-wives
4 of
could
them,
be the
doesn't he?
lumberjacks. Or the
That
lumberjills,
would be
sorry.
great. Can you imagine?
The old TNA ring.
That would be funny. Yeah, they would need the TNA ring
Between
for one in
between
corner.
ex-wives and illegitimate kids, they could be
They would be. That'd
Yeah.
be the first 3 rows.
And Starcast is a Conrad Thompson thing, right?
correct.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why that's chasing it. Okay.
yeah.
Or we're setting up. Well, I don't want to say chasing it. Whatever.
I'm kind of bummed I didn't go to the one in Baltimore.
If
I
the
am
card,
kind of sad.
yeah,
That was
I am
right
too.
there.
That would have been neat.
Yeah, I would have went broke there. That's for sure. Then I'd be in the same position I am now. But I'm rich in love and friendship.
That's all right. Scotty Jeffries will teach you how to live,
Mark,
bro.
you say that every time, but you've gone to Icons with us and you spent like $10, and 5 of it was on bottled water.
Yeah. Well, you know.
It's the experience of walking up to Matt and Jeff Hardy as
just be
our
Riley
guest handler.
Madison's,
Yeah.
Riley Madison's wingman.
Yep, I was Riley Madison's wingman. That got me up to Matt Hardy real quick. And Matt Hardy's handler didn't even question us. It was great.
It's just
No question.
Matt Hardy's handler.
But now, is there any quote unquote retired wrestler? Because never say never and
Here's
all.
what I hope. I hope somebody headbutts Ric Flair in this match,
Oh,
and by that I mean a fan.
come on now.
In this instance, it would be Ric Flair hurling the racial slurs.
Yeah,
into the
probably.
crowd.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Yeah. I mean, you probably.
He ain't lying.
Where's this taking place at?
Is it Nashville?
Oh, he's gonna be loaded with them.
I mean,
He ain't lying.
but I mean, in Nashville, are you really playing a heel if you're throwing racial slurs? I mean, let's be honest.
No, he's gonna be a baby face.
Yeah, they'll carry him out on their shoulders if he goes out there
There's
doing
black folks out there.
that. But the question that came from this to me is like, is there any retired wrestler that you'd want to see back for one match?
Yes.
We literally just saw it.
Avery Good.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh,
Avery.
Asshole.
Man,
love you,
Ryan
Tim.
chose violence today.
I love you, Tim. He just retired. Why not, Tim?
Oh,
Let the corpse get cold first. Make us
I didn't
miss
say
you.
Haystacks Calhoun. That's a
You
cool
ain't
ass
even
corpse.
seen one Haystacks Calhoun match, and you want him to come back for another?
I'd be like finding a needle in a haystack.
Oh, God.
Not that hard. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he's pretty big.
He's a big fella.
He's a big boy.
It's just
Well,
it's
not
happened
so
so
much
long ago.
anymore.
I don't want to be that guy
He's
just
a
now
real
getting
big
into
dude.
Haystacks Calhoun's matches.
I mean, I feel like
I have been on this. I have been this way for a very long time.
I feel like an important detail to this question is like I feel like the wrestler has to be alive. Like Haystacks Calhoun, we could not.
You're only saying that just to eliminate Haystacks Calhoun as an option.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You know what? Wrestler of my week this week. Haystacks needs some love.
Well, fuck.
Does he?
I don't think he
Yeah,
does.
Jim's here shitting all over him.
I'm not shitting all over him. I'm just saying he's not retired. He's dead. Like
Is he wrestling
Right.
anymore?
he's not. But could he wrestle right now?
If Ric Flair can,
I mean, well, you're
String him up
not.
like a marionette.
like
my-
Weekend at Bernie's.
Tom Green moving the sausages around in that fucking stupid movie.
Freddie got fingered.
That's the one.
That's the only one.
That's
the only one.
The one. I don't know if there's any.
Yeah,
I
he's
can-
still alive, I'm sure.
The only one that I can think of is somebody who's recently retired, and it's kind of a fantasy question because I don't think from a health standpoint he's ever going to be able to, and that's Triple H to get his last match. That would be my answer in a perfect world. But I don't think that's feasible with the defibrillator in his heart. Like,
But isn't that the basis of the question?
yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of somebody who like really could. Like,
I know who
AJ
could.
Lee.
I got
know.
it.
I got it.
that's a good answer, Ryan.
Oh, you do?
I think I got it too.
You can go ahead. We may be right. We may be on the same page.
I'm thinking our
Draws.
American hero. I was thinking Kurt Angle.
We were not thinking this.
We were.
We were not.
I was thinking somebody who it may be a dream match for something, you know. Never mind. We already said his name.
Lex
Shane
Luger.
McMahon doesn't matter. They could put it into War Games though.
They could. They could.
War games! War games! War games! War games!
I like that. Tim playing along. I enjoy that.
It's getting late for Tim.
Oh, you don't know what that is. You may know it by its other name, Game Wars.
Oh, look at that.
Games! War games! War games! War games!
I hate that one so much. I don't know.
Eventually, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that one where we clean out the board a bit.
And I can't wait because I saw the board.
The-
Jesus Christ! How do you find anything on that thing?
I'm telling you, it's because I
Right,
know
there's
where
too many Ryan clips. Let's
I know where
eliminate
they
some
all
of them.
are.
There
No,
are
that's people that-
17 Ryan clips.
No,
don't
Tim.
you play
There's
them all?
20. There's 20.
Can you play them all for us?
No,
Not the
no,
time
no,
for
we don't
that.
have time for that.
That's horse shit.
One a week.
But there's
What a week.
but we have the newest edition.
No, I use the back door. The front door's locked. Why not?
Sometimes it's hard to get that zipper down.
Jesus.
Or you have a button. You have a button fly.
the old button fly. But Ryan, I kind of like your answer, Ryan. The AJ.
No, that was just an example of somebody
No.
that you were talking about. Of somebody that probably could come back and still wrestle.
Somebody that
and
certainly
still
could.
alive, which is, I think, your requirements.
I mean, if look, if you want
Nature's
to,
requirement.
if you want to bring back I can't stop you. For
I don't
me,
want to.
I'm just like, I can't.
And are
can't.
they in the same condition they're currently in?
Yes.
So, if you say Bret Hart, you get strokey drooling Bret Hart
Oh,
in a match. So you can't say Bret Hart.
I'm not saying Bret Hart.
Right, but we're not saying in their prime. We're not saying
No.
someone who
We're
had an
saying
injury.
How they are right now.
We're saying in 2022. Yes. That's how I look at the question.
I mean, then there's really not many I would want to.
There's only one really I can think of that would fit the bill.
Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Is it
I'm
Dwayne?
assuming you're going to say Batista.
No.
Was it Dwayne?
No. On who it can reasonably be, it's
You don't
got to be
think-
Sting.
ding.
I mean, doesn't Sting wrestle every?
I feel like he does.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think like there's nobody else
Sting and
like I would
Flair.
think of that is alive.
The Bella twins, Brie Bella.
I mean,
I think
they're
yeah,
they're
I guess
kind
you
of
could-
retired. Yeah.
you could see either of like. No, never mind. I don't want to see
Trish
it.
Stratus retired. She can probably come back and still wrestle.
Oh,
That-
she could.
Lita does on special occasions.
I feel like
It is
Trish
not.
has on special occasions too, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I mean, I know after the match with Charlotte in Toronto SummerSlam, like I think she kind of said like that was my last match.
Oh, I have my answer. Bray Wyatt.
Oof.
Oh,
I mean, yeah. So since he's not active, like I don't necessarily. For me, I don't necessarily view him as retired. He's certainly not active. I would certainly love to see him back.
But he's alive though, right? So that's still
He is alive, so that would fit the bill if you.
Got it. But Brett is not, and that's why he cannot.
No, Brett is
that's why we
alive.
crossed him off.
Brett is alive,
Right,
but
but
I
Brett,
am. I
He's
am.
you have
brain
to-
dead.
You have
but
to
not.
brain dead, strokey Brett. And as far as
Got
I know,
it.
Bray doesn't have any type of injury like that prevented.
No, not that I've.
Goldberg never kicked Bray in the head.
He did not.
Not
Maybe
yet,
it's
anyway.
Goldberg.
It's
not
not
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Maybe Goldberg puts him down once and for all.
like Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Is it wait? Is that who's gonna wrestle Flair and just
Yeah.
just finish the job?
Do the work.
Good lord.
I
So
would
wait,
love to see
was
just
this
one
question
solid
who we
Goldberg
want to
spear.
see wrestle Ric Flair, or who
No,
we just want to see?
no. Is there any
Oh,
retired
now it's just
wrestler?
so it's anybody in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, any retired wrestler that you'd want to see wrestle one more
Okay,
match.
yeah, that's why I said Bray. I don't want to see Bray wrestle Ric Flair. I don't want to see anyone wrestle Ric
No,
Flair.
yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I wouldn't put that on
Not in
anyone.
that current state.
God, no.
In a house with a mouse and a louse. No,
I would want to see New Jack wrestle Ric Flair.
he's dead.
Okay.
He's got to
If not,
scratch,
New Jack would've
scratch him
killed
off. Yeah, there's nobody. I just don't want to see Ric Flair wrestle.
Yep, that's about right.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with my answer. Not that it necessarily has to stay just at one,
What
but
could he wrestle one of his kids? Could he wrestle Reed?
Also dead.
oh my god,
That's my bad.
oh, Ryan, why are you a monster? Like, just
I am a monster.
You're a monster.
Mr. Grinch.
Smokey.
but yeah, my answer will. I think my answer will be Triple H.
Mr. Miller.
I hate to say it. I'm going to say Batista because I feel like he has the body and can still go, even though I would fucking shit all over it.
Oh my
Batista
god!
seems like he could do it and put on a solid match one more time, so I'll say Batista.
All right, I love
blue
that
trunks.
you said Batista.
I'll follow. I'll say it.
Batista.
Is it-
Batista.
Is it them in their current state right now?
Yes, in 2022. Mark,
Yes, so we're talking like
Did
Bret
you-
Hart on oxygen with a pacemaker.
why is he on oxygen? He doesn't. He's not.
Forgot to breathe the other.
Should be.
My
Shouldn't be.
God.
Give me a hell yeah. I don't know if he's formally retired. But let's get one last Sid match.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if he ever formally.
His ass ain't showing up.
He's got
I mean, if you
softball.
catch him off a
Softball
softball
season.
season, he'll be there.
Yeah,
Oh,
do it.
that's
Do it in the
fair.
wintertime. There's no softball in the winter.
There might
Give
be in
me-
Arkansas.
Give me Sid versus just like an entire locker room full of indie guys, and he just power bomb all of them little vanilla
That would
midgets.
That'd be good.
There you go.
Him versus every wrestler in the back shorter than 6 feet tall. All of them,
Everybody.
one at a time.
Literally everybody.
Just feed
Like
them
you
out.
remember the old SmackDown game, the slobber knocker mode, where you just like fought people and all the time until you lost. You put Sid in a slobber knocker match, but all he has to do is hit the power bomb.
He doesn't even have to get down and
Powerbomb.
pin. He just has to power.
He just
bomb.
power bomb.
Love it,
They powder out, power bomb, powder out. I love
dude.
it.
I mean, we joke, but like you book that on an indie show, you're putting asses in seats,
That's a GCW main event right there,
dude. That's
Would be.
fucking gold. Mark.
I mean,
You
this
see-
answer months ago was CM Punk. I feel like for almost
Yeah,
everybody.
now
Oh,
correct?
absolutely.
Oh yeah, look at us now though.
Look
Can
at
you
us now.
imagine-
We have everything we want.
Can you
He's
imagine Sid power bombing Mr. Ping? at a CCW show?
No.
You think he's getting up?
God, I
God
just
bless.
That'd be great.
will Sid's titanium leg hold up to that?
Yeah.
Okay. Will his other leg hold up to that?
Yeah, he'll
No,
be
probably
fine.
not.
Okay.
He'll be
Yeah.
okay.
She's still
If
got
you're a worker, Tim, under 6 foot, are you letting Sid powerbomb your ass?
Without question.
Really? Okay.
it. Can we get
Because here's the
powerbombed?
thing. One,
I mean, it's mostly you jumping up, right? Like you
Right.
trust him to put you down safely.
he wasn't a powerbomb dude who like threw people.
Okay.
He was very much like a pickup and like poof. Like he didn't stick people. Not like Vader. Holy shit.
Oh,
Vader was shit whipping
scary.
guys.
Head, neck, back, it didn't matter. Vader was dropping you.
Yeah, going down. But one, if the power bomb's good, I can only say I got power bombed by Sid. But if he messes me up, boy, the story I could tell.
Hey,
And if he
remember
kills
that
me,
time
oh well.
that Sid powerbombed me? Well, now that I can't move from the neck down, yeah, I don't,
It's time for pudding.
I don't know that I want to tell that story.
I can't feel shit, guys.
Coming, mother.
he's coming in. He's rolling in old Ironsides. Oh, yeah.
Stephen Hawking's that shit.
Oh my goodness.
What a mess.
Mark, did you
guys
have
are
an
terrible.
answer to this?
Yeah, I think I would stick with Kurt Angle.
Oh, that's
I
right.
think in
You
his
said
current
Angle.
state,
You said Angle.
I think Angle could still go, and I'm sorry that upsets anybody. Actually, I'm
But
not.
if it was somebody that was dead,
But-
it would be Haystacks Calhoun, correct?
Oh, without question. I'd
Got
like
it.
to see him and Big Loch Ness take come to blows in the ring. Loch Ness and Haystack.
Good old
That's a
Lock.
main event anywhere in
Good
the
old
country.
Locky.
Oh, Lockie, they call him Nessie.
The good old
Nessie.
Nessie. My bad. I'm sorry.
He could instead of the stink face, he could do the swamp ass in the corner.
The swamp ass.
Sheesh.
Oh my god.
Wasn't that Skinner's finisher?
It was what Skinner used to do.
Swamp
Oh
ass.
my!
Was that like the stink face?
It was like a stink face.
It was
No, there was no such thing that I know of, but it could have been.
It could right now.
It could. It could happen.
It certainly could. Okay.
Don't stop believing.
Let's do one of the other two. Yes, Ryan. You look.
And I'm just trying to think of other name. Paige. Did Paige come back? Is that an option? Would
Paige.
people care about seeing that?
I think people
I
would
think
care
a lot
about
of
seeing
people would
that.
Care about that.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
That's a good
Paige.
one. I guess certainly still possible. Like if you like I know on her like Twitch channel and on social media she's said that she's still trying to get cleared. So
Okay.
it's certainly possible. I mean, we've seen
Doesn't
Edge
Bret
come
Hart
back.
have a-
We've seen Brian come back.
Bret Hart has a Twitch channel too, doesn't he? Oh, no, it's just a Twitch.
He just has a Twitch condition.
Those are awful.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, wow.
So terrible. He's a
I
nice
appreciate
man.
that Mark was on his best behavior when I was the host, and then he just saved it all.
Just saved
Saved
it all
an
for today.
hour's worth.
I
I
mean,
was. I was very
Oh, he
respectful.
was
good
calm
one.
today.
I
It's-
was.
it's-
He was well behaved.
Tim kept me reined in, and he moved that show along like a freight train coming down the tracks.
well, I think I'm gonna have to take some lessons from that to figure out how to do that exact thing.
Send it.
All right. Let's do one of these other two topics. We'll save the other one for a future show. So we could either do who's the biggest you deserve it guy in wrestling all time. We recently did wrestling right now, or and I'm stealing this one from the Take 3 guys because they've stolen enough topics from us. I feel like we're even again. No, it's true. It's true, Ryan. The Mount Rushmore of commentary teams.
boy.
Let's do the "You Deserve It" one.
Okay, that's
You
fine.
deserve it.
So, like I said before,
That's easier to hide that we prepped for this show than a commentary team Mount Rushmore.
Correct.
All right. Well, we'll save the Mount Rushmore for a future show.
That's a good one.
So, who is the biggest "You Deserve It" guy in wrestling history?
Can you
guy or girl?
clarify what you mean by that?
Yeah, define that.
Ryback. He deserves everything he has coming to that son of a bitch. I say Ryback again.
To me, I look at this question as somebody that, like, didn't get a world title, didn't necessarily get all the like recognition or the biggest spots or the pushes that they probably deserved when they were with, whether it was WCW, ECW, WWE. That's kind of how I look at this question.
I did not look at it that way.
I mean, how do you look at it, Ryan? Like, I'm not necessarily.
No, that's fine. I wasn't.
I'm not necessarily saying you have to interpret the question the same way I do.
I will give you my answer to this, and then I think you understand how I framed it.
Okay, yeah.
I think the biggest "You Deserve It" of all time is probably Daniel Bryan Danielson. From what he did in the WWE up to WrestleMania 30, getting it all taken away from him, being able to come back and now reinventing himself in AEW and having an entire second run of his career. There's not many people that I would want to chant "You Deserve It" to more than Daniel Bryan, because I feel like he deserves the spot where he is at today. He deserves everything he has coming to him because of his past. I mean, go back to even before the WWE, some of the matches he's put on. I feel like he's wrestling some of his greatest matches today, and he deserves that for working hard and being able to come back. Finding a doctor to clear him.
I mean, hell, even in his return run in the WWE, he had like the Planet's champion, and even some of the matches towards the end of his WWE career, I think were among the best, at the very least, in his WWE career.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's why I'm like, if you interpret the question in a different manner, then I'm all for it. To me, this topic can take on many shapes and forms.
I like what you had also described, and I would almost liken that more to like, who is always a bridesmaid and was never the bride sort of thing.
Like, for me, the first name that came to my mind in my interpretation of it is Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Like, I feel like Piper should have been a world champion in WWF. I know his times were short, but I feel like the character, and not that he necessarily quote unquote needed it, but like, I mean, he was one of the guys in the main event of the first WrestleMania. Like, he helped put that company in the spot to be successful. Like, I feel like that is something that should have been rewarded at some point. I mean, he did have an Intercontinental title run, but I feel like there should have been a world title run, and could have been a world title.
I can go next.
Go ahead, Matt.
And I'm following along in terms of what Jim was saying, and it might be recency bias just because it was kind of spoken about a lot when he passed away recently, but that would be Razor Ramon / Scott Hall. Held the IC title a few times and had memorable runs with it, but just never got that top gold. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, in either company.
Right. He was never world champion I don't think he was world champion anywhere, even in his time in like AWA.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Not that I can recall.
Now,
but he's a 2-time Hall of Famer.
He is.
Yes.
So, I mean, that is getting his flowers, I guess, but at the same time, not really getting them while he was in the ring.
Yeah, I feel like the WWF was a huge miss not getting Razor the WWF title. Was part of the reason. And Tim, like, you know, because you're more of a WCW guy, like by the time he got to WCW, were like problems surfacing that they didn't necessarily trust him to be in that spot.
I think it might have just been the fact that, you know, when he was probably at height of powers, it was Hulk's show.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't
Like,
sure.
especially with him being a part of the NWO, like
You weren't gonna
Hall's
outshine
never-
Hogan.
especially when like the third guy is Nash.
Yeah,
Like the pecking order is Hogan, Nash, Hall.
right. Out of the three, sure.
Right.
Okay.
Here's Nash won the title a few times in WCW.
Mm-hmm. But he didn't win it for the first time until 98.
And that was
Starrcade 98.
And was that was a Wolfpack, right? Like that was once the NWO was already getting bastardized.
It was when he beat Goldberg for it.
Okay.
And then literally the Monday after that, he finger poke doomed it.
Woof.
A one-time world television champion, a two-time United States champion, and a 7-time WCW tag team champion.
Scott Hall.
6 with Hall, or 6 with Nash, 1 with the Giant.
Yep.
Wrong Giant.
Oh.
His son.
His son.
He was also a WWC Caribbean Heavyweight Championship, if you want to lump that into the Heavyweight Championship.
In Puerto Rico with Colon. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big deal.
Jesus. That's not bad.
Tim or Mark or Andre, do you have a
You're my friend, Jim. Tell Jack Tony to over that snake.
I can't tell if you're doing your Andre or your Brett.
Oh, come on.
Do you remember who I wrestled? Because I don't. When I met Brett at the bar, no, it was the Barnstorm, it was the Reading Phillies game. I said, when I went to my first live event, I saw you wrestle there. And he says, do you remember who I wrestled? And I didn't quite hear what he said. I said, what was it? Do you remember who I wrestled? Because I don't. He didn't say he didn't remember, but it was the Young Stallions.
Oh.
So we were talking about Andre. Now we're talking about who deserves it. Andre deserved it, but he did have it for a little bit. But you know, honestly, I was thinking about I brought him up, Terry Funk. Honestly, now he was an NWA champion back in, I think, the early '70s. But that man, up until about 5 years ago, was still wrestling. And he started, I believe, in '65. That's pretty wild.
And I think his only other like world title run anywhere, did he win he won the ECW world title, right?
Fairly legal.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I guess you could argue if that was a world title. I would say it was, but
he is also the wrong side of 30.
That's correct.
Twice, almost 3 times over.
That is correct.
Unfortunately, he is the wrong side of 30.
Yes.
Mark, he was a Juggalo Championship Wrestling champion as well, so he did have the GCW Heavyweight Championship.
There you go.
Terry
Can you
was.
imagine having Andre in the Juggalo Championship Wrestling? No. He'd be knocking the grease paint off.
I think Andre was a Juggalo.
He probably would be.
Yeah. Andre knew how to get that. Tim, do you have a you deserve it guy?
That's tough. I would probably say Yeah, it's so tough to think about because I want to look at it the way Ryan did and like
Well,
who is
I'm
the
gonna
person.
circle around to see if anybody has like thoughts of from the way Ryan interpreted the question, because I do like that
Yeah.
angle on it for sure.
Yeah, so I'll save that. But currently, who is somebody who deserves it? I'm gonna say Dustin Rhodes,
Okay.
He's a good one.
a guy who's always been like top of the class, like just never been world champion material, but always good enough to be world champion, always over enough to be world champion, and can still go today. And it wouldn't be the worst thing if, Dustin got one more run and got like a quick run at the title in AEW.
Yeah, and I mean,
I don't think that'd be horrible.
I mean,
I'm all right with it.
it's certainly possible. I mean, him and Punk just had a good match a few weeks ago. If Punk becomes champion here in a few weeks, maybe run it back one time. Although we don't typically see like AEW hot potatoing their title, but yeah, I mean Dustin's in the among the best shape of his career, and kudos to him. I saw last week at 14 years sober for Dustin, so kudos to him there.
To answer the question, I think your way of somebody that never won a major championship, and for all accounts, this guy was a terrific human being, a terrific father. I'm gonna go with Brody Lee as a guy that deserved it and never got maybe his fair due. I think AEW was on track for that to eventually happen. He held the TNT championship there, but I could have seen that happening in the future. But obviously things had happened. His life was cut short. But I'll say Brody Lee.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. I saw the other day, I think it was the anniversary of like one of the promos he gave from the Daily's Place shows when he was in that feud with Cody, and man, he was just so damn good. He was just so damn good. It's such a shame. So Tim, we'll start going back around the room with Ryan's question or Ryan's interpretation, which is more just literally somebody who deserves the flowers and deserves the praise, for any number of reasons.
I'm gonna go with Eddie Guerrero. Even in death, I'm still saying that like he still isn't. I don't think he's still quite appreciated as much as he should be. And when he was champ, like there was no bigger "you deserve it" more than him at the time. Like Eddie was just that guy.
That
guy. Mark or Matt, any thoughts to like Ryan's interpretation of the question?
Yeah, I think had his life not been cut short and he kept going the way he was, I think Owen Hart would have become a world champion, and without question.
Okay,
that was actually going to be mine as well. Would have been serious? Owen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. Owen, I thought they were going to take the belt off Shawn for a period and put it on Owen when he was the Blackheart.
Yeah, it still surprises me that
so Ryan's interpretation was someone who's had the career, but
no, not necessarily. My interpretation was simply somebody that I would want to chant "You deserve it" to, for whatever. I mean, that was really my interpretation. I said Daniel Bryan because I thought his career, looking back, I mean, he has held championships Injuries took him away. I never thought he would wrestle again. He probably thought the same. Came back and is wrestling some of his greatest matches ever. So I would, if I had to start a chant to a wrestler, if you deserve it, I would say to Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
That was all.
Yeah, and in that vein, I guess CM Punk would be another one I would consider for similar reasons. You know, someone who had a fantastic career and then took time away. We didn't know what we would see of him again, if ever, and realized he wasn't made for the octagon and was more suited for the ring, and came back and has seen a renaissance as well.
When you said it the way you interpreted it, Ryan, the first person that came into my mind is Claudio Cesaro.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, and not that like the WWE audience or Claudio fans pre-WWE didn't appreciate him and his work, and when there's been moments of pushes in the WWE, like the fans reacted to it, but like he's so good and like there was so much potential for so much more, and I'm bummed out. I thought the Joker last week on Dynamite was going to be him. I know everybody kind of thought Johnny Gargano and ended up being Johnny Elite. But and he's not even, the funniest part about him calling himself or being called Johnny Elite is he's not even signed to the company. It was literally a one-off spot. I'm like, so how is he Johnny Elite? He's not even elite, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But
he's where he is. He is where he is.
I know. I was disappointed. I thought it was going to be Claudio. I hope.
What disappointed you more, Jim? That or Maki Ito as the female Joker?
Yeah. Yes. See all of the above.
Okay.
But I hope he comes back somewhere that we get to appreciate him on a large wrestling scale again.
That's fair. I mean, and if he comes back to AEW and wins a championship, I am assuming he will get rained upon with "You Deserve a Chance."
Absolutely. And yeah,
and he absolutely should.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's who I thought when you presented it that way. All right. Any other superstars that you think deserve it in any interpretation before we close this one up?
I think Tim deserves it for running the show last week.
Tim does deserve it for running the show last week. We appreciate
Give Tim his flowers.
But Ryan, I also love your Ryback answer. Because he just
what Ryback answer?
That he deserves whatever the hell he gets. that is pretty good.
Of all time.
That is pretty good. But you know where to find us. Go to 3countthursday.com and make sure you check out all the social media links, the YouTube. Subscribe to us on all podcast platforms. We will be back live 2 nights from now, Thursday night, as we always are, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, and go